Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Grand Bazaar. We have a visitor this morning. And as soon as you see Isaac, you know that we're going to be unlocking another windmill, which is really exciting news. Now, he says it's the last windmill, but I think he's a tad bit confused because we still have 2 more windmills that we don't have access to. So he's going to unlock the windmill that's near the hotel for us, but we still currently can't use the one by Lloyd's house. However, I am very excited because I pass this every day and it just kind of stares you in the face. This windmill lets you manufacture various items. For example, you can make ore into accessories, and this is also how we upgrade our tools. Hallelujah! And we just basically use it the same way we use any other windmill. They're all pretty much the same. We can spin the blades faster using our microphone, and we just put things into it. So, he's left us here after our tutorial, so let's have a look. And as you can see, a lot of this stuff is going to be using our ore. This is a big ore windmill, so this is one of the reasons that I've been saving my ore stones, my gold, and I did sell my moonstone, my sand rose, some of the gems that I've been getting, just to kind of give me a head start earlier on, and because I didn't really want to keep it in my inventory all this time. However, it is now a really good opportunity to save those things if you manage to get a hold of them and turn all of your ores and gems into necklaces or bracelets. Despite the fact that I know gold and ores and all that stuff sell for quite a bit of money on their own, you will get infinitely more money by just waiting, being patient, and turning it into jewelry and other accessories. So we have the potential to make a little bit more money that way. This is also where we make wool, which we'll need to remember when we eventually get ourselves a sheep. And then finally, glorious tool upgrades. Finally, this is what I've been waiting for. I no more have to worry about watering one teeny tiny square at a time. Those days are over. So this is where the mithril and the orichalcum are going to come in handy. I did mention at the last bazaar that you can buy those at any time in order to have them ready for today, and you can upgrade your tools right away once you get access to this windmill. But I'm going to be doing it tomorrow. Our bazaar is tomorrow. I'll be buying the ores and we'll do the upgrade after the bazaar is over and done with. And then finally we can also upgrade our fishing rod. And the only one that we can upgrade for now is our short rod, because the medium and the long rod are actually 2 different items. And we don't get access to the medium fishing rod until our 2nd year, if I'm remembering correctly. And then we also have access to coins, although I don't know why you would spend the ore and kind of waste it turning them into a higher value of coin, because you lose a lot of money that way. But I guess maybe that has a function that I'm not thinking of off the top of my head. And then there's a few items right now that we can't make, but for the most part, this gives us a lot to work with. This gives us an opportunity to finally upgrade our tools and to potentially make some mega big bucks if you happen to have access to these ores or these gems. I think the necklaces sell for 30 grand or more depending on the quality, so you can definitely capitalize on this if you're lucky enough. So we will come back tomorrow. Unfortunately, we just don't have what we need to upgrade these just yet, but we will. And keep in mind too that we will be needing the same ore to do the same upgrade every single time. So we only get one hoe and one watering can, and we basically just continuously feed it the same ingredients to increase its quality. And each time that we increase it and it improves by 0.5 of a star, our watering can, our hoe, and our fishing rod will all just improve slightly. So as you can imagine, we're at 0.5 quality watering can, and we can go all the way up to 5. So those are some very expensive jobs to get that increased all the way. But even if we just do it once, it's going to just help us so significantly. So I absolutely cannot wait. I am so excited. We will come back to that. Now, I don't want to go to our bazaar because that normally takes a little bit of time, and I like to put those in their own video. So what I'm gonna do is time travel a little bit here, and I want to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about storms that you might encounter in the summer season and how those are a little bit different than how they work in most Harvest Moon games. So here we are. I purposely made the game give me a storm so that I can kind of talk about this a little bit. You can hear it out there. It is absolutely ferocious. And unlike some Harvest Moon games, you are allowed to leave the house when it's storming outside. You can see that the wind actually moves your character. So doing things like jumping is extremely difficult, as you can see, because I'm going against the wind. So you do have to be careful if you're jumping around. You might fall in the water, you might accidentally crush your crops, but you are allowed outside and it doesn't drain your stamina and nothing changes. What is also unique about storms in this game is that there is absolutely no fear of them damaging your crops. Storms and snowstorms, all of those types of really bad weather, actually don't do anything to your crops at all. And I can't think of another Harvest Moon game off the top of my head where we don't have to worry about a storm taking out our crops. It's one of the only games, I think, where a storm is actually beneficial in a lot of ways. So not only does it just not damage your crops, doesn't drain your stamina, doesn't make you sick, allows you to go outside, but you can also get your windmill blades spinning really fast. So this might be a good day to do a little bit of manufacturing using some of your windmills if you've got some stuff that you want to make. Keeping in mind that there are going to be no bugs on a day like today, and generally there's also not going to be anything else to sort of forage. There's going to be nothing except for branches, stones. You'll find lots of those, weeds, And then keep an eye out for shining objects, because this is a good day to also get some shiny stuff. It is also a fantastic day to do some fishing, and this is another one of the actual benefits that you get with a storm. It doesn't always work. I've had good luck on this dock in particular. Of course, I forgot my fishing rod at home. I'll have to go get it. But one of the benefits is that the wind will carry your line further when you're fishing. So you can actually get more length and you can catch better fish. So with my basic small fishing rod, I might be able to cast it and have it reach the part of the water where I can normally catch fish reserved for when I have a medium fishing rod. And the same goes for if you have a medium rod, you can actually cast your line all the way out. So as you can see there, we have surpassed where the small fish normally bite, and we should be able to get this medium-sized fish, this bigger guy, to come on over and bite. So this will give you some opportunity to fill out your fishing log more if you really like to fish, if fishing is your thing. Some of these fish might be worth a little bit more money because they are bigger and better. So I actually used this as a fishing day myself. I thought this was a really perfect opportunity for me to do some fishing because I didn't really have anything else to do. I didn't have to water. I did fertilize, but you do want to be really careful if you're doing any kind of work on your fields in a storm, just because you are going to be pushed by the wind. And if you're jumping, you might accidentally jump on your crops and damage them. It does seem to work really, really well on this dock, and sometimes the one over by the windmill, but I didn't find myself able to cast my line as far over on the dock by our house, although maybe I should try it. When I was fishing in my own time, I was kind of getting a mixture of the medium-sized fish and the smaller fish. I haven't really had time to fish a lot since I got the fishing rod. Summer's been just really, really busy for me. Ooh, that's a big fish. Wow. Excellent. So this was a really, really good day for this. And I just thought it was a good idea to try and purposely trigger a storm because it is so unique from other games in that regard, where the storms are honestly pretty beneficial because there's just not really the risk for damage or any kind of loss, which is just kind of nice and sort of refreshing for a change. You can see my inventory is kind of a hot mess here. I've got a bunch of crap in it, but you get the idea. So I will try and just kind of do a little bit of farm work just to see if I can manage. Do I have space? I have one slot worth of space, so that's fine. I had to move my inventory around when I started fishing to try and fit all my fish into my storage container so that they didn't go bad before our next bazaar. Another thing I learned about summer, or remembered about summer, I guess, is that everything in your storage actually goes more rotten more quickly. So if you've been playing and putting things in your storage and you've been thinking to yourself, wow, I can't believe how fast that these herbs and these flowers have turned bad, then it's not your imagination. I guess it's probably just, you know, the heat of summer. So you do have to be sort of careful in that regard. So as I pick stuff up, I'm gonna be pushed, and it'll also happen if I go to throw things. So say I, you know, can't carry this and I want to try and throw this in my bin to go into my storage, I'd have to throw it that way rather than try and throw it against the wind. So you still want to make sure that you're walking as you're going along if you're doing any kind of work, if you're collecting crops, if you're fertilizing, anything like that. And again, do be careful when you're jumping, because you could either just do a little teeny tiny jump, or you could go really crazy and jump really, really far and end up jumping on your crops and damaging them. So let's see here. I think once you kind of start fertilizing or whatever it is you're trying to do, use your hoe, the wind mechanics don't seem to really matter as much. You can notice I'm not getting pushed around because it seems like my character is now locked into moving from square to square to square like how they normally do when I'm doing farm work. So it is still possible, if you're wanting to gather up crops, use your hoe, replant seeds, fertilize, it is still possible to do all those things in a storm. You do not have to worry about missing out on an entire day worth of productivity. And fortunately, you don't have to worry about taking a huge loss to your stamina. Everything works exactly the same. And if I recall, summer is the only season where you're actually going to have a storm. We don't have to worry about them in spring or fall. And then in the wintertime, we can get a snowstorm. But same rules apply. We don't have to worry so much about staying indoors. But in the wintertime, we can't grow anything, so at least that would be a good opportunity for us to go out and gather stuff and do some fishing and whatnot. Use our windmills. So this is a really nice opportunity to do all the things that I've shown, but also you're going to have a lot of stamina left over, most likely, so you can make yourself material stone, lumber. It is a little bit more difficult, but you can throw yourself in the river. You're just going to be fighting against the wind, but I haven't had much of a chance to go swimming because farming has taken up so much of my stamina, so this would also be a good day to do that. And I don't think I'm missing anything. I think that pretty much covers it, but yes, it is really nice not to have to fear a storm for once. All the villagers will be inside their houses also, by the way, and villagers who normally go out of town for work, even if it's a working day, will stay home. Businesses will stay open, so Raul will still run his store, the cafe will still be open today, but nobody is going to be outside, and people like Claude, Freya, Ivan, they will all stay home. and not go to work, I guess, just due to bad weather and whatnot. So it's a great opportunity just to use some of your time to do other things that aren't field work and working on the farm. Kind of a little bit of a breather. I actually really appreciated having the storm. It was kind of nice to get off the farm and just do some other stuff. So next video I'm going to rewind time and we will go to our Saturday Bazaar on the 18th of summer, since we missed it. I was jumping around in time a little bit here. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.